Camp Sweeney is proud to present the following video podcast.
Okay, ladies, come on over this way. Good morning to all of you. As we wait for these awesome men to leave us alone together. How are you guys doing? How's your retreat been so far? Good? How many of you guys are freshmen? First retreat? Awesome. Okay, how many of you guys are core and used to be teeny boppers a long time ago? Okay, I'm so excited to be with you this morning because, as Kurt said, this topic I am so passionate about. Kurt and I are so passionate about it because it's something that we struggle with. It's something that you guys struggle with, but it's something that we struggle with. And as Kurt said, it is something that is a complete crisis in our culture. And I wish I could have been here last night. I know that Naomi shared with you about who you are in the image of Christ. And she invited you to take whatever label you struggle with and to just, hello and goodbye. To take that label, do we have a crucifix in here? Well, to take that label and take it to the cross and know that who you are isn't defined by that. That who you are is defined in Christ. But Kurt and I want to break that open a little bit more and talk to you about that false idea, the false idea that we can have about who we are as women and who they are as men. And then we're going to come back together and we're going to talk about it a little bit more together. But as I begin, I want to just share with you, some of you know, and many of you have probably seen a little girl running around St. Anne, a little girl that is very precious to me, who I love and adore, and her name is Caroline Therese. And, you know, Caroline is the youngest of 5, and that little girl, more than any of my other children, when I look at her face, and when I watch her little personality, I see the faces of 2 other little children. I see the face of her dad when he was a little boy. And I see the face of her mom when she was a little girl. And, you know, when I look back over my childhood, there is a picture, a photograph of me that always comes into my head because it's a picture that captures the way I was. I was such a happy-go-lucky black and white photo. I was such a happy-go-lucky little girl. I was so free-spirited. But there I was with my little boyish hairdo and my chubby self, and I was not what the world defined as truly feminine. But I was so happy. I was so free. And I want to ask you all as we begin this talk, when you look back to when you were a little girl and you think about yourself as you've grown up to the young woman that you are now, how do you define femininity? How do you define what it means to be a true woman? What it means to have true value and true worth? What it means to be lovable, to be desirable, to be beautiful. We have a crisis. You and I live in a culture that is pervaded with lies. Pervaded with lies about what makes us beautiful as women, what makes us valuable, what gives us worth. Every single one of us was born with 3 basic questions. We were born into this life with three basic questions. Who am I? Who will love me? And what is my purpose? Who am I? Who will love me? And what is my purpose? The little girl, that little girl, we had those questions as babies when we were cradled in our mother's arms. Who am I? And who will love me? And what is my purpose? And those questions have to be answered. Those questions God wants answered in your life. And as Naomi shared last night, God made you in his image. And he wants you to discover the answers to those questions about who you are in him and how you are loved by him and what his purpose is for you in your life. That's what he wants. But unfortunately, that's not usually the way it happens for us. We grow up and we get a lot of answers to those questions. And you know what? They're wrong. They're the wrong answers about who we are and what makes us lovable and what our purpose is in life. So I want to share with you three basic lies, three main lies of femininity. And Kurt's up there with the guys, and he's going to talk to the guys about the three main lies of masculinity. The three main lies that we as women and men buy into about what makes us a true man and a true woman. And I want to share with you about these lies, but more importantly, I want to share with you the truth about who you truly are as a woman. And Kurt wants those young men to hear the truth about what truly defines a man. So these three lies, the first lie we start to hear, the first lie we get fed when we're little girls. And that lie is the lie of body type and size. That who I am and what gives me value and worth lies in what body type I have. What size my waist is, how big my thighs are, how big my butt is, or how small my bra size. That what gives me worth is the kind of body type that I have. And you know what's so sad? You know when little girls start hearing that lie in their head? When they're in first and second grade. A counselor that I'm friends with told me, she said, you know, Jenny, little girls, when they're in the second grade, they start to look in the mirror every time they pass by it. When they're in the second grade. And so the lie that we hear is that my body must be perfect, or there's something wrong with me. I'm a failure. I'm not lovable or desirable. Some of the statistics: 42% of first through third grade girls want to be thinner. 42%. 81% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat. 20 to 40% of girls at the age of 10 start dieting. 50% of girls between the ages of 11 and 13 see themselves as overweight. It's too big. 80% of 13-year-olds have attempted to lose weight. 59% of 5th through 12th grade girls in one survey were dissatisfied with their body. This lie is fed to us. A couple years ago when I was doing a retreat at an all-girls school, and I was talking about these lies, after I was done, a teacher came up to me, one of the teachers of the school, and she said, Jenny, thank you so much for talking about this. She said, these girls need to hear this so badly. She said, just the other day, one of my students came in and told me that her mom has a scale in their kitchen. And she has to, at dinner time, go and weigh in on that scale before she eats. And depending on how much she weighs, that determines whether she gets salad dressing on her salad or something crazy. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm the youngest of 9 kids. I have a sister who's 8 years older than me. And when she was young, she was chubby like me. And my mom was concerned. And she went into the pediatrician. And she said, you know, I'm concerned about my daughter. I think she's overweight, and I feel like I need to put her on a diet. And that pediatrician looked my mom in the eyes, and he said, don't you ever put your daughter on a diet. Don't you ever. She is who she is. Let her grow. Let her become who she is based on the way God made her. And then I came along later, and I was chubby too, and my mom knew better, but it was my siblings who were like, Mom, Jenny she's fat. Like, you gotta put her on a diet, you know? You gotta watch what she eats. And my mom looked in their eyes, and she said, don't you ever tell her that she is fat. But they didn't listen. The boys didn't anyway. So for me in school, I never heard anyone at the school call me fat, thank God. No one ever teased me but my brothers. And they called me BJ for Big Jenny. And fatso. And I liked a boy named Bob. I loved that boy. And they called him BBB, you know, Big Butt Bobby. Went perfectly with me. And I heard those lies. And we hear those lies. And they are so wrong. They are so false. And they hurt us when we buy into them. The second lie that we begin to hear when we're about middle school is the lie of sexual attractiveness. That who I am and what gives me value is how attractive I am to a guy. How physically attractive I am to the opposite sex. So we're tempted to wear stuff that makes us desirable to them because we hear that lie that in order for me to be lovable, guys have to like me. They have to be interested in me. They have to be drawn to me. They have to be attracted to me. So the question that we have to ask ourselves is, who the heck defines that? Who defines what is sexually attractive? Supermodels? Vogue magazine? Is that who defines what makes us attractive? What is so sad is that as young girls, we are bombarded by a culture that tells us that we have to look like someone who is not even real. Who is not even real. Some woman on a billboard or on the cover of a magazine. 69% of girls in the 5th to 12th grade reported that magazine pictures influenced their idea of a perfect body shape. 47% of girls in the 5th to 12th grade reported wanting to lose weight because of magazine pictures. The body type portrayed in advertising as the ideal is possessed naturally by only 5% of American women. You know what that means? Nobody's got that body. And honestly, I don't even know if that's true. Don't know how many of you have ever heard or seen this commercial, the Dove commercial. Jeffrey, we have that? Dove commercial? Thank you. How many of you guys have seen this? Okay.
Very quiet, please. Camera's rolling. And we're recording sound. Slated.
Distorted. Distorted. No wonder our understanding of beauty, our image of beauty is distorted. Because we are trying to be somebody that's not even real. I did a CD a few years ago, and the guy that took my picture for the CD had been a model photographer for years in his life. He lived in Chicago, New York City, California. And when I came into his office and he was showing me all the stuff that he'd done before he, kind of made the change into a different world of photography, he said, "Jenny, I have to show you this." And he showed me pictures of models when they would come into him. And he would show me the photograph that he took of them. And then he would show me the photograph of what they looked like when he was done doing what he called make a body. He said, we make their body. And he'd show me how he would do just what they did to that girl, with their thighs, with their height, with their neck, with every part of their body. What we see is not real, and yet we believe it's what we're supposed to look like. And when I was in the 8th grade, I had my first boyfriend who I met at Six Flags, which was like, okay, danger. And so I wasn't supposed to go out with guys, let alone like be at a movie with a guy. But I lied to my mom and went off to the movies, supposed to be with my friend, but was at the movies with my friend and this guy. And he told me on the phone the night before, wear something with buttons. And I was like, oh my. And I thought, oh my gosh, this guy has plans, And so I was thankfully a pretty strong girl, but I really liked him. And so when we were there in the movie theater and he was, trying to carry out his plan, and I was like, no way, you're not touching me. Guess what? See ya. The value and the worth that I had to him was to be used. And because I closed that door, he had no interest in me anymore. And because we buy into that lie that we need to be attractive, sometimes we fall into doing things that I later did fall into doing. I didn't do it when I was in the 8th grade, but I sure did it later because I wanted to be attractive. I wanted him to desire me. The third and last lie is material possessions and status. That what gives us value in our life is what we have, what we wear, what we own, where we live, what car we drive, and our status, what activities we're in, who we hang out with, what we're good at, what our position is and our place. And that gives us worth. And for all of you guys in college right now, gosh, it is amazing to me, that little lie that's planted in your head, that your worth to a college, your value and your attractiveness to a college lies in the 5 zillion activities you're in and all the stuff that you do well. And so we spin our wheels trying to become somebody, to find this certain place, this certain status, this certain position. And what happens when we buy into these lies? We buy into the lie that feeds all of them, the lie that we have to be perfect. And that's the lie that I fight every day of my life. This is not something that I have conquered. This is something that I fight every day in my life, that I have to be perfect. And my kids know it. They know that I struggle with this. And in certain ways, we all struggle with it. And that's why it is so important for us to know the truth about who we are as women, what makes us a true woman, so that we can fight those lies, so that we can be free. One of my favorite scriptures, one of my absolute all-time favorite scriptures, is from John 8:32, when Jesus says, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." So in order for us to be free from the lies and from the wounds and from the unhappiness and from the brokenness and the chaos that begins to take place in our life from buying into those lies, the only way that we can be freed from them is to know the truth. So what is the truth? What is the truth about what it means to be a woman? One of the songs that I love that we sing at St. Anne is Amazed. How many of you know that song? You dance over me while I am unaware. You sing all around, but I never even hear. Lord, I'm amazed, sing with me, by you. Lord, I'm amazed by you. Lord, I'm amazed by you, how you love me. Is that true? Is that really true? Are you amazed? Are you amazed at how he loves you? He's your father, and he sings all around, and he dances over you. But do you even hear? Are you really aware? That's what's always intrigued me about that song. Like, come on, God, you don't really dance over me. Yeah, he does. But what's so sad is we don't get that. We don't get that he loves us so much. And he wants us to be amazed by that. To be amazed by how lovable we are. Not because of anything that we do. Not because of what we look like. Not because of who likes us or who doesn't. But because of his love for us. Because he is our Father. And we are his little girls. We are his daughters. I'm sure you've heard, I'm a daughter of the king, right? It's kind of cheesy, I'm a daughter of the king. Well, what does that mean? He is the king, And the king owns the kingdom, right? Everything is his. And so everything that he has belongs to his children. Everything that God has belongs to you. You are lacking nothing. I am lacking nothing. Do we believe that? Do we try to grasp the truth? Will you try to grasp and embrace the truth in your life about who you are in him? Psalm 139, for you knit me together in my mother's womb. God knit us together in our mother's womb. He knows every detail. He chose every detail. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Really? I'm wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, the psalmist says. I know that full well. Your works are wonderful, Lord. I know it. Well, in order for us to know it, we have to know him. And we have to know the truth about who he really created us to be. One of the most beautiful qualities to me about what it means to be a woman is our receptivity. You look at the human body, you look at the male body, you look at the human body, it is crystal clear about what defines us as women. What makes us a woman is our ability to receive. Our ability to receive. But if we're going to know who we are, the answer to those questions, and who will love us, and what our purpose is, we have to be able to receive first God's love. And what did he show us about what true love really is? What did he show us on that cross about what it means to be loved? That no greater love has a man than this, than to lay down his life. And he died, he laid down his life so that we would know his love. And he laid down his life on that cross. He sacrificed, he died so that we as women would know how a man should love us. That we are not to be used. That we are not to be an object of his pleasure. But so that we would know that we should be sacrificed for. I have 3 boys, and I cannot tell you how many times I have looked in their eyes and said, look, your mission as a man, little man, your mission in life is to protect and respect every woman you meet, including me, including your sisters, and everyone else. And I can't tell you that my sons have fully grasped that, but that is what I am trying to plant into their mind and their heart. And if their mission, as Kurt's sharing with them, if their mission is to protect you and respect you, then your mission is to live your life in a way that inspires them to, in a way that demands for them to, that who we are as women, to be chaste, to be pure, to be modest, is to live in such a way that we call them on as women, by being the women we're created to be, that we call them on as men to be the men they're supposed to be. And it's hard for them. It is so hard for them to do that when we carry ourselves in a way that makes us look like meat, that causes them to use us. to see us not as the women that we're created to be. I want to just wrap up by sharing that third question, what is our purpose as women? The Catholic Church tells us beautifully that our purpose as women, our purpose, our call, is to infuse the world with life. To infuse the world with life. And I am afraid I'm going to embarrass my daughter. But, you know, all moms, we have to have that talk, you know. And there's a beautiful book that some of you I know, because two of you's mom here, sisters, are the one that told me about the book. But when I was trying to explain, you know, period, and, you know, I was looking for help, you know. And it was so amazing how I read about how, as a woman, our womb is a cradle. And our body prepares that cradle, just like as a mom, you prepare a cradle for your newborn baby. And just like a mother would line that cradle with beautiful blankets and linens, your body prepares a cradle within itself so that you can bear life, so that you can cradle a human person in your womb. And every month, your body prepares that little lining. It lines your uterus. And if that seed isn't planted, then you don't need it. You don't need that little lining at that point in your life. And so that's what comes out of you. Voila. That's a period, you know? It's the lining of the cradle of your womb, okay? Well, so many girls are like, a period, oh my gosh, you know, disgusting. But for my daughter, who I have to tell you gets credit for the last two Clements, Gabe and Caroline, because she prayed on her knees for another sibling. Claire, who, like so many of you, longs to be a mom, longs to give life, to infuse the world with life. For Claire, it was so cool to know that, oh my gosh, that has to do with my ability to be a mom. That has to do with the beauty of my femininity. And some of us may never have a child physically. Some of us may adopt. Some of us may be a sister, the bride of Christ. But no matter what we do, we are called to give life. We are called to infuse the world with life. And so I just want to encourage you guys today to continue to allow yourselves as women to just receive the truth about who you are, so that that truth can set you free and you can give life to the world.
Make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day.
Oh no, nothing like this has ever happened before in the history of the regional Miss Plush Puff Marshmallow pageant. How are you feeling?
I can't believe this is happening.
And to think she got trampled up by the competition for One Direction. One Direction totally wasn't even here, and I totally knew that they weren't going to be here. Because why would One Direction be at a beauty pageant competition, really?
Be quiet. Okay, what are my options? What do I need to do? Can I find a big evening gown to cover up all of my casts?
Well, what's your talent?
I twirl baton.
Oh. Well, maybe you can do it sitting?
No, I just can't.
Some other talent then.
I don't have another talent. And even if I could find a dress to cover up the casts, and even if I could have another talent, it's just... This cast makes me look so like I have a double chin, and it just makes it, my face is so puffy, and I just can't do it.
I mean, well, like on a positive note, maybe the judges, maybe the judges would like your puffiness. Like this is a push puff competition.
No, I just can't. This is so embarrassing. I can't show my face like this.
Well, then we just have to disqualify you.
No! All my hard work. I've always wanted to be the National Miss Plush Puff Queen, and now I can't.
I'm so sorry. It's just such an unfortunate turn of events. However, I do need to get in touch with the runner-up to see if we can get her here in time. Who was the runner-up?
I don't even know. I won, so why do I need to know who the runner-up is?
I know. Her name was Missy Jenkins. We're gonna have some trouble getting a hold of her.
What's the problem?
She joined the circus.
The circus?
Yeah, like her talent is so cool. She like took her hair and was hanging from like the ceilings and stuff like that and like twirling around. It was like the best talent ever. So much cooler than baton twirling. Not that that's not a real talent. It's just this one was so much cooler. Well, I guess what I'm really trying to say is we're gonna have a hard time getting a hold of her.
What about the second runner-up?
Well, her name was Libby Lichtenstein, and we're gonna have an issue with her too.
What's the problem?
She's allergic to marshmallow. She had like an allergic reaction. It was really gross. It was like all over her, right? But it was so crazy because I think she was just allergic to gelatin. And do you want to know, fun fact, what's in gelatin? It's like animal byproducts and like skin and hooves and like all sort of like disgusting things, which is really ironic, I think, because like this beauty competition is like a marshmallow themed competition, right? And it's like she had an allergic reaction to the gelatin, which is so disgusting. It's so ironic.
I don't see the humor.
Okay, that's fine.
Someone with an allergic reaction to marshmallows definitely cannot be the Miss Plush Puff Marshmallow Queen.
She can't hear.
How did she even get to be the second runner-up?
There were only 3 people in the competition.
But I still won. I still was the district national champion. There was some fierce competition.
This is very unusual. I just don't know what the other options are.
Oh, please, Miss Summer, please. Can you please think of another option? I have to be the National Miss Plush Puff Marshmallow Queen. Please, 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 please. Think of something.
Well, there is a clause in the pageant rules that allows for a one-time only substitution.
What's that?
It means that if all other previous pageant contestants are unable to participate, like in this case, one girl can be chosen to represent the district winner at the regional competition. If the substitute wins, she can then go on to nationals on her own, or she can return the title to the original district winner, and the district winner can go on to nationals.
So what you're saying is if I can find someone to compete for me, and they win, and give up their title, then I can compete?
Yes, that's an option. But it's not used very much. Who would want to give up the crown to someone else? Besides, there's always the problem of finding someone with proper pageant clearance at such short notice.
So if I can find someone who's already here and who has proper clearance, then that would be good?
Yes, that's exactly what we need. But who is there who's not competing?
What are you guys looking at? What are you guys thinking? No. To her cray-cray.
But Georgia, please?
No, seriously. Real talk. Do we need to go over my proper justifications of my job? I'm a personal assistant, right? Like, I'm not a beauty pageant competitor.
Miss Summers, can you excuse us for a minute,
Sure.
please? Georgia, do we need to review your job expectations again? Because expectation number 2 says that you will do whatever is necessary. Well, actually, no. That was expectation number 4. Expectation number 2 says that you will do anything that I need you to do. And this is what I need you to do.
Yeah, again, it's not gonna happen. I don't think so. Let me think about it. No. Like, this is just not gonna happen because, like, I'm just not a beauty pageant contender.
Okay, but I can change you. I could transform you. I could turn you into a whole new person.
Yes, you want to change everything about me.
I do. You're the one who said that you couldn't win just like this. So just think of yourself as cold, jagged stone, and I'm like Michelangelo.
You know, I really don't know. I just don't know. Do you even know who Michelangelo is?
No, but that's beside the point. The point is that I could change you.
I just don't know.
Come on, Georgia, please, 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 don't make me beg. I can't even get on my knees. Please, 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 please.
Oh my gosh, yes, fine, I'll do
Okay,
it.
Miss Summers, come here. Georgia said that she would do it.
Very good. I'll draw up the necessary paperwork. However, you do know that for you to go on to nationals, she's going to have to win the competition.
Yes, I do understand that, and I will help her.
All right. Good luck to the both of you.
We're gonna need it. It's okay. Okay, we have a lot of work to do, and not very much time to do it. So I need you to put your arms down from your armpits. Put them down. Put them down. Okay, what's your talent?
A talent. Well, no, it's not talent. Oh yes! I make like the best Rice Krispie treats ever.
That is not a talent. Let's get real here. What is your talent?
No, seriously. They're like the best Rice Krispie treats. I found this like great recipe on Pinterest. They're so good. And if you think about it, this is a marshmallow competition.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be harder than I thought. Oh, I don't even know where to start. Maybe with that hair. Okay, let's get to work. Popular, you're gonna be popular.
You got it?
Thank you for viewing this podcast. Be sure to visit Camp Sweeney on the web at www.campsweeney.org. This has been a production of Camp Sweeney. No portion may be reproduced or distributed without the express written permission of Camp Sweeney. All rights reserved.